Ruijun, and my group member is Zhehui and Lolan. Our topic will be how different discourses shape people's expectation and perceptions of the working holiday visas. Well, as a student in UC, I have some opportunities and time to seek and get some part-time jobs, and while I was working in my spare time, I have met some working holiday visa holders from China. So I have interviewed some of them about their living and working experiences in Australia.
可以低成本出国，出来玩一下。国内找不到什么好工作。
是因为想来澳洲这边多赚一点钱，有移民的打算。
期待就是可以出国看看吧，之前也没想过能来澳洲，觉得有机会体验下不同的文化还是很好的。
因为服务业他们需要一个人走的，然后才会有马上顶下去。但服务业及签对所有WHV的工作者来说都是比较热门抢手的一个东西，所以说就很多人去争一个职。
而且我发现这边有拖欠工资的习惯，和我想象中的不太一样。
会有工时焦虑和签证焦虑。
我就只去了一个地方麦凯，它是属于北科的一个小镇。但也不是很好，就是工资方面会比较低，就是不把你对会压榨，不把你当人那种。老员工他欺负新人，就说这个也让你做，那个也让你做。
我在马里巴这里做农业，一开始是芒果，然后又是青柠，然后是现在的牛油果。我在青柠厂工作的时候，那个农场主是外包一个中间商，中间商又再外包给一个承包商，这种层层外包下之后，最终的那个人拖欠过我工资。
麦凯房东扣了我500刀押金，但是如果选择报警解决或者其他方法，我投入的时间精力是否划算？
I found that the reality is quite different from social media. Their true identity is migrant workers who is bearing the double burden of both immigration status and labor force. So why are these Chinese working holiday visa holders who just want to live better pushed into the negative circumstances as a subaltern group? Many working holiday visa holders, as well as popular Chinese platforms like Rednote, often promote a common narrative. If you're a working holiday visa and things aren't going well, it's because you didn't work hard enough or failed to plan ahead sufficiently. But is that really the whole truth? The deeper reality is that the better life they appear to have freely chosen is actually the attractive facade of exploiting the labor force of other countries within the Western discourse system. Based on Pierce et al.'s theoretical framework on value visualization on Instagram, core values such as the ones in our sample are narrowed down and transformed into visual representations of goods for consumption. A similar pattern can be observed on Rednote. We searched Australia WHV as a keyword and sorted the results by number of likes from highest to lowest. We found that the text content promoted by the platform is mostly tied to themes like making money and personal growth.
1个月前，我的上班时间是6点钟。刚开始每天都能看到非常漂亮的朝霞，以为这是常态，结果后面再也没有遇见过。天亮的
values like freedom and self-growth are packaged into an appealing lifestyle image that users are encouraged to chase. Even in posts that discourage people from applying for WHV, the accompanying images are still attractive natural landscapes. It shows that this romanticized portrayal of WHV is not something authors deliberately choose, but rather a pattern built into how content spreads on the platform. In this case, the Western narrative framework does not shape Rednote users' positive impressions of the WHV through direction intervention. Instead, it works quietly in the background, seeping in through the visual logic and language patterns of social media. And when we visited the official website directly, the first thing we noticed was a language barrier. The entire page was only available in English. The large natural landscape image next to the main heading creates a holiday atmosphere. Even when we used the browser built-in translation tool, the visa was described as working Australia to fund your holiday, while the actual work requirements were not shown upfront. They were tucked away behind a hyperlink. Overall, the requirements are organized in a nested system of hyperlinks and sub-requirements, which makes the application process difficult to navigate. This deliberately created information drowning is a clear example of social semiotic engineering. As Marburg put it, social semiotics can be engineered to create stability and prosperity, or they can be engineered to create disability and poverty. How we envision and create our own community is largely based on how our social semiotics are engineered. Through creation of beliefs, policies, practices, and possibilities, the government's language requirement for applicants is only IELTS 4.5 or equivalent. Yet truly understanding these rules demands a much higher level of language ability and access to information. This information structure quietly creates an uneven playing field where different applicants end up with very different levels of access to and understanding of the same information. Within this kind of information structure, many applicants find it hard to fully grasp the restriction built into the visa system, such as designated industries, required work regions, and renewal conditions. By the time these conditions become real in their day-to-day working lives, they have already entered the Australian labour market and been steered toward low-paying jobs in sectors like agriculture, food service, or hospitality. In this way, through social semiotic engineering, the WHV is packaged and sold as a work and holiday opportunity, while in practice it also systematically channels applicants into a specific low-end labor pool, serving Australian demand for temporary workers. While working holiday visa holders clearly face serious structural disadvantages, it's important to recognize that they are not simply passive victims. Many Chinese working holiday visa holders actively find ways to help each other and work around the limitation of their situation. Online, platforms like Renault and WeChat have become important spaces for this kind of mutual support. Offline, many WHV holders rely on Chinese community networks, turning to people from the same hometown or using connection through migration brokers and community contacts back in China to find work and navigate daily life in Australia. Of course, this agency has real limits. Working holiday visa holders are still constrained by visa rules, language barriers, and the constant pressure of needing to secure their second-year visa. But within those limits, they are not simply waiting for things to happen to them. They are sharing information, building network, and supporting one another, and that matters. In conclusion, the difficulties faced by Chinese working holiday visa holders are not simply the result of poor personal choices or lack of effort. They are shaped by deeper structural forces rooted in Western colonial systems. Both the unequal way information is presented on official websites and the idealized image of working holiday visa life on social media lead to people expect an easy and rewarding experience. But in reality, many end up in low-paid, physically demanding jobs with more pressure and less protection in both work and daily life as migrant workers. However, working holiday visa are not helpless. They share information, support each other, and find ways to deal with the system more wisely. This is not a problem unique to Chinese working holiday visa holders. Migrant workers around the world face similar structural challenges. We hope that as more people become aware of this, things will slowly get better.